How many of you have ever held yourselves back from going after what you truly wanted in life because you were worried about what other people might say or think? How often do you make decisions, big or small, through the lens of how it might be perceived by your friends, your family, your coworkers, or even total strangers on social media? I want you to take a moment right now and really think about that. Think about all the times you've censored yourself, played it safe, or compromised on your dreams because you were scared of being judged, criticized, or rejected by others. If you're anything like I used to be, and like so many people in the world today, your answer is probably more times than I can count. Well, I'm here to tell you that this stops today. This is the day we draw a line in the sand and decide once and for all to stop living our lives for the acceptance and approval of others and start living for our own fulfillment and happiness. Because let me ask you something. Whose life are you living anyway? Is it yours? Or is it some imaginary audience that you've given the power to validate or invalidate your every move? The truth is, we only get one shot at this precious gift called life. One chance to experience all the love, joy, adventure, and growth that our time on this earth has to offer. And yet so many of us waste that chance by dimming our own light, hiding our true selves, and chasing after the moving target of other people's opinions that at the end of the day have absolutely nothing to do with us. Think about the sheer insanity of that for a second. We take this incredible opportunity to live, to express our unique gifts and talents, to leave our mark on the world. And we trade it for the fleeting, fickle praise of people who, half the time, aren't even paying attention to us anyway. We sacrifice our authenticity, our passion, our aliveness, all to avoid the possibility of someone forming a negative thought about us that we'll probably never even know about. Can you see how backwards that is? How completely self-defeating and exhausting it is to live that way. And make no mistake, it is exhausting. Constantly monitoring yourself, overthinking every word and action, trying to please everyone and fit into their arbitrary expectations. It's a recipe for stress, unhappiness, and a profound emptiness that But here's the good news. The minute you decide to stop caring what other people think and start honoring your own truth, everything changes. The weight lifts, the fear subsides, and you're flooded with a newfound sense of freedom and possibility. You start making choices based on what feels right to you, not what you think will win you the most points with your so-called judges. You give yourself permission to be who you really are, quirks, flaws, silly habits and all. And yeah, some people might not like it. They might not like this more real, more alive version of you that isn't trying so damn hard to blend in and people please. They might criticize you, gossip about you, roll their eyes at your audacity to march to your own. But you know what? Who cares? Their judgments say nothing about you and everything about them and their own insecurities. Because the truth is, the people who matter, the people who are meant to be part of your journey, they'll love you more for having the courage to be yourself. They'll appreciate the honesty, the vulnerability, the willingness to risk disapproval in the name of living authentically. Those are the relationships you want to invite into your life, not the conditional ones that require you to be someone you're not. But this isn't just about what other people think. Even more than that, it's about what you think and knowing that you stayed true to yourself even when it wasn't easy. It's about looking in the mirror and respecting the person you see, not because you followed all the rules and met everyone else's standards, but because you were brave enough to set your own. There is nothing more liberating, more empowering than living life on your own terms, than waking up every day and knowing that you get to decide what success, happiness, and fulfillment look like for you. Not society, not your parents, not that random stranger on the internet. But to get there, you have to be willing to let go of the need for approval, to risk ruffling some feathers and raising some eyebrows, to accept that not everyone will understand or agree with your choices and to be okay with that. You have to develop a thicker skin, not so you can shut people out, but so you can let yourself in all of yourself without apology or regret. That doesn't mean it's easy. We're tribal creatures wired to want to feel accepted and liked. It takes practice to untangle yourself from the web of other people's opinions and stand firmly in your own sense of self-worth. But like any skill, the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. It starts with small things. Saying no to invitations that don't resonate with you, even if you know it might disappoint someone. wearing the outfits that make you feel fabulous, even if they don't fit the latest trends, sharing your honest thoughts and feelings, even if they might be unpopular. The more you flex that muscle of self-loyalty, the stronger it gets. And as you keep flexing it, an amazing thing starts to happen. You realize that the only way to attract people and experiences that truly vibe with you is by radiating the fullness of who you are. Not some watered-down, socially sanctioned version, but the real you in all your messy, multidimensional glory. Because, let's face it, not everyone is going to like you, no matter what you do. You could contort yourself into a human pretzel trying to please the whole world, and there would still be critics and naysayers waiting to pounce. But if the cost of avoiding those critics is sacrificing your joy, your passions, your reasons for getting up in the morning, well, that's a price no one should be willing to pay. At the end of the day, your relationship with yourself is the longest and most important one you'll ever have. It's the foundation on which every other relationship is built. So why would you betray that relationship just to score a few fleeting brownie points of people who haven't walked a mile in your shoes? I'll leave you with this. Imagine getting to the end of your life and looking back at all the moments you let slip away because you were too concerned with fitting in and keeping up appearances. All the risks you didn't take, all the dreams you talked yourself out of, all the times you could have danced and laughed and loved with abandon, but held yourself back out of fear of judgment. Would you be filled with regret? Would you wish you had cared a little less about public opinion and a little more about your own? I think we both know the answer to that question, and I think we both know deep down that the rewards of living truthfully far outweigh the risks. That the opinions that matter most are the ones that come from within. And that when you dare to stop worrying about what the world will say and start worrying about what your heart is saying, that's when life opens up and showers you with more blessings than you ever thought possible. So how do we actually do this? How do we break free from the prison of other people's expectations and start living life on our own terms? Well, like any journey worth taking, it starts with a single step. And that step is making the decision right here and now to reclaim the power you've given away to all those external voices and judgments. It's saying to yourself, enough is enough. I'm done living small and scared. I'm done basing my worth on the fickleness of other people's approval. From now on, I'm living for me, for my own happiness, my own fulfillment, my own wild and precious. And then it's backing that decision up with action. It's catching yourself when you start to worry about what others will think and consciously choosing to redirect your focus to what you think and feel. It's surrounding yourself with people and influences that celebrate your authenticity, not stifle it. It's taking bold, courageous leaps in the direction of your joy, even when the rest of the world is telling you to play it safe. Because here's the thing. The world needs more people who are willing to stand in their truth, who are unafraid to color outside the lines and think outside the box, who blaze their own trails instead of following the herd. Those are the people who change the game, who shake things up and make a real difference. And yeah, those people might face more criticism and resistance along the way. They might endure the eye rolls and the snide remarks from those who are threatened by anyone who dares to be different. But they also experience a depth of joy, meaning and liberation that the approval chasers will never know. Because they're not wasting their energy on shrinking and hiding, they're channeling it into creating, expressing, and savoring every delicious drop of this one wild ride. And the crazy thing is, the less you care what other people think, the more they end up respecting and admiring you. There's just something magnetic about a person who knows who they are and refuses to apologize for it, who radiates a quiet confidence that can only come from within. People can sense that, and they're drawn to it like moths to a flame. So as you navigate this path of self-loyalty and inner freedom, know that you're not just doing it for yourself. You're doing it for everyone who's lucky enough to cross your path. You're giving them permission to drop the mask and embrace their own realness. You're showing them that it's not only okay, but downright glorious to dance to the beat of their own drum. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, your courage will be the spark that ignites a ripple effect of authenticity and unbridled self-expression. Maybe your willingness to stand tall in your truth will embolden others to do the same, until we have a world full of individuals who are too busy shining their own light to worry about dimming anyone else's. Can you imagine what that world would look like? A world where we celebrate each other's quirks and differences instead of trying to sand them down into sameness, where we encourage each other to take risks and chase dreams instead of playing small and safe, where we lift each other up with compassion and understanding instead of tearing each other down with judgment and criticism. That's the world I want to live in. And it starts with each of us making the brave, radical choice to be true to ourselves, no matter what anyone else thinks or says, to love and accept ourselves fully, flaws and all, to treat ourselves with the same kindness and respect we so freely give. And yeah, it's not always going to be easy. There will be times when the old fears and doubts creep in, when you're tempted to shrink back into the safety of people-pleasing and blending in. But in those moments, I want you to remember this. Your uniqueness is your superpower. Your authenticity is your greatest gift to the world. And every time you choose to embrace and express those things, you're not just liberating yourself, you're giving others permission to do the same. So go out there and live boldly, love fiercely, and shine unapologetically. Dance like no one's watching, sing like no one's listening, and chase your dreams like your life depends on it. Because it does, this one precious, miraculous, wildly imperfect. Life is all we've got. And it's way too short to waste on worrying about what the peanut gallery thinks. Instead, focus on what makes your heart sing and your soul come alive. Surround yourself with people who fan your flames, not douse them. Take risks, make mistakes, and learn from them. Let your freak flag fly and your passions run. And most importantly, always stay true to yourself, because that's the one relationship you'll have for the rest of your days. Trust me, when you're old and gray and looking back on this beautiful adventure called life, you won't remember the times you played it safe and made yourself small. You'll remember the times you dared to be different, to stand out, to live and love with your whole heart on your sleeve. You'll remember the moments of pure, uninhibited joy that came from honoring your deepest desires and being exactly who you are. The belly laughs shared with kindred spirits who loved you not in spite of your weirdness, but because of it. The challenges you overcame and the fears you faced because you refused to let other people's opinions hold you back. Those are the moments that make a life well lived. Those are the stories you'll be proud to tell, the legacy you'll be honored to leave behind. And none of them, not a single one, will have anything to do with fitting in or pleasing the crowd. So let this be your rallying cry, your daily reminder, your North Star as you navigate the wilds of this human experience. Other people's opinions are none of your business. What matters most is staying true to yourself, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard, because at the end of the day, you are the only one who has to live with your choices, your actions, your regrets, and your triumphs. You are the only one who gets to decide what kind of life you want to live and what kind of person you want to be. And I don't know about you, but I want to be the kind of person who looks back on my time here with a smile and a satisfied sigh, knowing that I squeezed every last drop of juice out of this luscious fruit called life. That I loved hard, dreamed big, and never let the fear of judgment keep me from being my weirdest, wildest, most wonderful self. I want to be the kind of person who inspires others to do the same, to shake off the shackles of shoulda, coulda, woulda, and just be, fully and unapologetically, to remember that we're all just stumbling through this beautiful mess together, doing the best we can with what we've got. And most of all, I want to be the kind of person who knows deep down in my bones that I lived my truth, that I honored my heart, that I marched to the beat of my own drum, even if everyone else thought I was out of step. Because to me, that's what a life well lived looks like. And I wouldn't trade it for all the approval and validation in the world. So here's to you, you brave, beautiful, one-of-a-kind soul. Here's to living your truth, singing your song, and shining your light no matter who's watching or what they think. Here's to being unapologetically, unabashedly, unequivocally you, because that's the greatest gift you could ever give to yourself and to the world. So now that we've talked about the importance of living authentically and not letting other people's opinions hold us back, you might be thinking, okay, I'm inspired. I'm ready to start being my true self and chasing my dreams. But how do I actually do that? Where do I even begin? Well, my friend, I'm glad you asked. Because it's one thing to feel motivated in the moment and another thing entirely to take that motivation and turn it into lasting, meaningful change. So let's talk about some concrete steps you can start taking today to break free from the trap of people-pleasing and start living life on your own terms. First and foremost, you need to get clear on who you really are and what you really want. Not what society tells you should want, or what your parents or your partner or your friends think is best for you, but what truly lights you up and makes you feel alive. What are your passions, your values, your non-negotiables? What does your ideal life look like? And what kind of person do you want to be? Take some time to really sit with those questions and dig deep for the answers. Journal about it, meditate on it, talk it out with a trusted confidant. Get to know yourself inside and out, because that self-knowledge is the foundation upon which everything. Once you have a clearer sense of your authentic self and your heartfelt desires, start setting some boundaries around them. Learn to say no to the things that don't align with your truth, even if it disappoints or inconveniences others. Practice communicating your needs and wants clearly and directly, without apology or justification. Remember, you are not responsible for managing other people's emotions or expectations. You're only responsible for being honest and true to yourself. And speaking of honesty, let's talk about the power of vulnerability. So often, we hold back from showing our true selves because we're afraid of being judged, rejected, or misunderstood. We put on masks and pretend to be someone we're not, thinking it will protect us from getting hurt. But the irony is, that kind of self-protection actually hurts us more in the long run. It keeps us disconnected from others and from our own hearts. It prevents us from forming deep, genuine relationships based on mutual understanding and acceptance. And it robs us of the joy and freedom that come from being fully seen and embraced for who we are. So start practicing vulnerability little by little. Share your real thoughts and feelings with people you trust. Admit when you're struggling or unsure. Let yourself be seen in all your messy, imperfect humanity. It might feel scary at first, but I promise you, there is nothing more liberating than the feeling of being truly known and loved for your authentic self. Another key piece of living authentically is learning to reframe failure and rejection. So often, we let the fear of those things hold us back from going after what we want. We play it safe and stay small, thinking it will spare us from the pain of falling short or being turned down. But here's the thing. Failure and rejection are not the end of the world. They're just part of the human experience. And they actually have a lot to teach us if we're willing to learn. Every no is just a redirection to a better yes. Every stumble is an opportunity to get back up and try again with more wisdom and resilience. So instead of letting the fear of failure paralyze you, start reframing it as a chance to grow and evolve. Embrace the discomfort of stepping outside your comfort zone, because that's where the magic happens. And when rejection does happen, it will. Don't take it as a reflection of your worth or a reason to give up on your dreams. Just dust yourself off, learn what you can from the experience, and keep moving forward with even more determination. And finally, surround yourself with people who lift you up and inspire you to be your best self. Find your tribe, the ones who celebrate your quirks and encourage your wildest dreams, the ones who love you for you, not for who they think you should be, the ones who challenge you to grow and cheer you on every step of the way. Those are the people who will make this journey of self-discovery and authentic living so much richer and more rewarding. They'll be your sounding board, your support system, your partners in crime. They'll remind you of your own brilliance and beauty when you forget, and they'll be there to catch you when you stumble and fall. So start being intentional about the company you keep and the influences you allow into your life. Seek out people and experiences that align with your values and nourish your soul. Let go of the relationships and commitments that drain you or hold you back. Create space for what matters most. And watch as your world begins to shift in amazing ways. Because here's the secret, my loves. When you start living authentically and unapologetically, the universe conspires to support you in ways you never could have imagined. Doors open, opportunities arise, and serendipity abounds. You start attracting people and experiences that match your vibration and reflect your true essence. And yeah, it might ruffle some feathers along the way. You might lose some fair weather friends or face some resistance from those who are threatened by your newfound boldness. But you'll also gain so much more than you ever thought possible. True connection, wild adventures, and a sense of fulfillment that comes from honoring your deepest truth. So let this be your invitation to step into that truth with everything you've got, to stop worrying about what other people think and start living life on your own damn terms, to embrace your beautiful, messy, one-of-a-kind self and share it with the world unapologetically and with wild abandon. Because the world needs your magic, my friend. It needs your unique gifts and your heartfelt passions. It needs your courage to be different and your willingness to take risks. It needs you to show up fully and authentically and to inspire others to do the same by your shining example. So go out there and live your truth fearlessly and joyfully. Chase your dreams with reckless abandon. Love yourself fiercely, flaws and all. And always, always remember, you are enough. You matter more than you could possibly imagine. And you deserve to live a life that sets your soul on fire no matter what anyone else thinks or says. Here's to being brave, being bold, and being unapologetically you. Here's to a life lived on your own terms, rich with meaning and adventure and limitless possibility. Here's to looking back on it all one day with a grateful heart and a knowing smile. Because you dared to be true to yourself every step of the way. You've got this, my fellow traveler. I believe in you. And I can't wait to see all the amazing places your wild, wonderful, utterly unique path will take you. So go on now, go live your one wild and precious life. And don't you dare let anyone else's opinions stop you from making it the most magnificent adventure of all time. My dear friends, we've covered a lot of ground today. We've talked about the importance of living authentically, of not letting other people's opinions hold us back from chasing our dreams and being our true selves. We've explored some concrete strategies for how to do that, from getting clear on what we really want, to setting boundaries, to practicing vulnerability and reframing failure. But I want to leave you with one final thought, one last piece of wisdom to take with you on this wild and precious journey called life. And that is, you are the author of your own story. You are the creator of your own reality. And you have the power in every moment to choose how you want to show up and what kind of life you want to live. So often, we give that power away without even realizing it. We let other people's expectations and judgments dictate our choices and limit our possibilities. We buy into the stories that society tells us about who we should be and what we should want. And in doing so, we forget that we are the ones holding the pen, the ones with the ability to write a different story altogether. But here's the thing, it's never too late to reclaim that power. It's never too late to take back the narrative of your own life and start writing a new chapter, one that feels true and authentic to who you really are. Because the truth is, you are not your past mistakes or your current circumstances. You are not what other people say or think about you. You are a boundless, infinite being with the capacity to grow and change and create anything you can imagine. So start imagining, start dreaming, start envisioning the life you really want, the one that lights you up from the inside out. What does it look like? Who are you surrounded by? How do you spend your days? What kind of impact are you making on the world? Let yourself get crystal clear on that vision and then start taking steps, however small, to make it a reality. And when the doubts and the fears inevitably creep in, when you start to hear those old stories and limiting beliefs playing in your head, I want you to remember this. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you. You have everything you need right now to create a life beyond your wildest dreams. You just have to trust yourself enough to take the first step. And yeah, it might be scary. It might be uncomfortable. It might stretch you in ways you never thought possible. But isn't that the point? Isn't discomfort a sign that you're growing, that you're pushing beyond your self-imposed limits and expanding into new territory? Isn't fear just excitement in disguise? A signal that you're on the verge of something big and beautiful and also worth it. So feel the fear and do it anyway. Take the leap and trust that the net will appear. Embrace the discomfort, knowing that it's the price of admission to a life beyond your wildest dreams. Because on the other side of that discomfort is a freedom and a joy and aliveness that you can't even begin to imagine. On the other side of that fear is the realization that you are capable of so much more than you ever thought possible. And as you take those leaps and face those fears, remember that you are not alone. Remember that there's a whole community of people out there who are cheering you on, who are rooting for your success and celebrating your triumphs. Lean on them when you need support. Reach out to them when you need a reminder of how far you've come. And most importantly, be that support for someone else. Be the one who encourages and uplifts and believes in the dreams of others, even when they've lost faith, because that's how we change the world, my friends. That's how we create a ripple effect of love and courage and authenticity that touches every corner of the globe. By being the change we wish to see, by living our truth out loud and giving others permission to do the same. By showing up fully and unapologetically and inviting those around us to join in the dance of life. So go out there and start dancing. Start singing your song and shining your light. Start living your one wild and precious life in a way that feels true and meaningful and utterly undeniably you. And trust that in doing so, you are not only transforming your own world, but the world around you as well. Because you matter. Your dreams matter. Your unique essence and gifts and passions matter more than you could possibly know. And the world needs you to show up and share them now more than ever. So let this be your rallying cry, your battle hymn, your invitation to greatness. Stop worrying about what other people think and start living life on your own terms. Embrace your beautiful, messy, imperfect humanness and know that chase your dreams with reckless abandon and trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor. And always, always remember you are the author of your own story. Make it one hell of a tale. Thank you for being here, for showing up and daring to live authentically. Thank you for the courage and the vulnerability it takes to be your true self in a world that often wants us to be something else. And thank you for the ripple effect of inspiration and change that you are creating. Just keep shining, my friends. Keep living your truth out loud. And know that whatever happens, you've got this. Because you are stronger than, braver than you believe and more than enough, just as you are. Here's to a life lived on your own terms, rich with meaning and adventure and endless possibility. Here's to being unapologetically, unabashedly, unequivocally you. And here's to the magic and miracles that unfold when you dare to be true to yourself and to the world. Now go out there and make it happen. I believe in you, and I can't wait to see all the amazing places your wild, wonderful, utterly unique path will take you. My friends, we've reached the end of our time together today, but in so many ways, it feels like we're just getting started. Because the journey of living authentically, of being true to ourselves and chasing our dreams with reckless abandon is one that never really ends. It's a path that we walk for a lifetime, one brave and beautiful step at a time. And yeah, it's not always going to be easy. There will be obstacles and challenges, setbacks and detours. There will be moments when we stumble and fall, when we question ourselves and wonder if we have what it takes to keep going. But in those moments, I want you to remember, you are not alone. You are part of a community of brave and brilliant souls who are all walking this path alongside you, cheering you on every step of the way. Lean on them when you need support. Reach out to them when you need a reminder of your own strength and resilience. And most importantly, be that support for someone else. Be the one who encourages and uplifts and believes in the dreams of others, even when they've lost faith in themselves. Because that's how we light up the world, my friends. That's how we create a ripple effect of love and courage and authenticity that touches every corner of the globe. By showing up fully and unapologetically and inviting those around us to do the same. By living our truth out loud and giving others permission to join in the beautiful, messy, utterly imperfect dance of life. And as we go forth from this place, as we take the insights and inspiration we've gained and weave them into the tapestry of our lives, let us remember the power of our own choices. Let us remember that in every moment, we have the opportunity to decide who we want to be and how we want to show up in the world. We are the authors of our own stories, the creators of our own realities, and we have the power to write a tale that is rich with meaning and purpose and unbridled joy. So let us choose again and again and again to be true to ourselves. Let us choose to embrace our quirks and our flaws, our passions and our dreams. Let us choose to live life on our own terms, not somebody else's. And let us trust that in doing so, we are not only transforming our own lives, but the lives of everyone we touch along the way. Because the world needs more people like us. The world needs more dreamers and doers, more risk takers and magic makers. The world needs more people who are willing to stand in their truth, to paint outside the lines and march to the beat of their own wild and wondrous drum. And by being those people, by shining our light and living our purpose, we give others permission to do the same. So go out there and shine, my friends. Go out there and live and love and create and dream with every fiber of your being. Embrace the discomfort and the fear, knowing that they are simply signposts on the way to a life beyond your wildest imaginings. Surround yourself with people and experiences that lift you up and light you up, that remind you of your own infinite possibility. And always, always remember, you're enough just as you are. You matter more than you could possibly know. And you deserve to live a life that sets your soul on fire no matter what anyone else thinks or says. So here's to you, you brave and beautiful beings. Here's to a lifetime of living authentically, of chasing dreams and taking risks and daring to be all that you are. Here's to the magic and the miracles that unfold when you trust your own inner wisdom, when you follow the whispers of your heart and the promptings of your soul. And here's to the ripple effect that starts right here, right now with each and every one of us. May we go forth from this place with courage and compassion, with resilience and grace. May we be the change we wish to see in the world. And may we never, ever stop shining our light. Because the world is waiting for us, my friends. The world is ready for our magic and our moxie, our brilliance and our boldness. So let's not keep it waiting any longer. Let's go out there and live our truth fiercely and unapologetically. Let's go out there and create a life and a world beyond our wildest dreams. And let's do it together, hand in hand and heart to heart. One brave and beautiful step at a time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And thank you for the incredible journey that lies ahead, just waiting for us to take that first courageous leap. Now go on out there and live your one wild and precious life. Make it an adventure for the ages, and know that wherever your path may lead, you've got a whole community of fellow dreamers and magic makers cheering you on every step of the way. So here's to living authentically, chasing dreams, and being unapologetically ourselves. Here's to a life lived on our own terms, rich with meaning and purpose and unbridled joy. And here's to the extraordinary adventure that awaits us all just beyond the edges of our comfort zone. May we have the courage to say yes again and again and again. Thank you, my friends. Thank you, and amazed.